All right, guys, what's going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for my live review of Monday Night Raw from the September 10th, 2018 edition of Monday Night Raw. Sorry, I'm not really too peppy tonight, whatnot. Had a lot on my plate right now. I have to get up really early again tomorrow morning. So this review's gonna be kind of quick, and also I don't want to be too loud because my dad's been really feeling well most of the day and he's trying to sleep, so I don't want to, be too disruptive and wake him up. So that's why I'm gonna be a little toned down for this review. Just try to get this over with, get my thoughts in real quick. Man, I don't want to get this over with in a bad way, but I want to just bring my thoughts here for Raw. But I have some early days this week, so I can't really be too long. So I just want to talk about tonight's episode of Raw. Overall, tonight's episode of Raw, like past few weeks hasn't really been that great. Tonight's episode, it felt like one of those episodes that was like it was not that great, but it didn't feel like it was a completely it didn't feel like we're our intelligence was completely being insulted, and we were able to sit through it a lot easier, in my opinion, than previous weeks. Is why I gave this Raw a little bit of a higher grade. But nothing really happened on this episode of Raw. There was nothing really too special. I'll go over like a couple little notes on some stuff I have, on some thoughts of things I have, but I'm basically just going to fly through this. Again, it was just a bland episode. Nothing really happened. Didn't really get me that excited for Hell in a Cell, honestly. I mean, they advertised some SmackDown matches, some matches I actually am looking forward to, like the Hell in a Cell match with and Randy Orton. The match with AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, which I'm still hoping does get a stipulation added to it because, quite frankly, it needs it, I feel. And then, of course, we also had the SmackDown Live Women's Championship match between Charlotte and Becky, which should be awesome as well. On the Raw brand, though, we don't really have too many matches. The only matches I can think we have on the Raw brand, is the Universal title match. We got announced we have a match with Raw tag titles, Ziggler McIntyre taking on Ambrose and Rollins, which, could be a good match. Even Strowman and Reigns can still be a good match. Just it's just that taste in your mouth right now for the Roman Reigns thing. And then what was the other match? Ronda and Alexa. Like, what else is there really on the Raw brand? Let me double check again the matches again just one more time to make sure I'm not missing something on the Raw side, because I don't know tonight that we don't have too many matches so far for Hell in a Cell, which in my opinion, like, that's fine with me. I mean, we'll have to have an overload card all the time, and take away the value from the bigger pay-per-views. So I'm fine with it. We just have like 8 matches for this show. But let me just see what's going on here with this card. So we have 1, 2. Yeah, so far we just have 3 matches. Looks like we're gonna have just 3 matches from Raw, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from SmackDown. So we do just 8 matches on this card. I'm cool with that. That's like a nice little refresher. But yeah, it's only 3 matches. No Intercontinental title match, and then no one really just regular one-on-one matches. I'm very surprised we did not get Finn Balor and Baron Constable. Well, sorry, acting Raw General Manager Baron Corbin added to the card. I really thought they were going to go with another match because it seems like Corbin has unfinished business with. Balor has unfinished business with Corbin, saying he wants to prove that he can beat the man just one-on-one, no excuses and whatnot. But we didn't get in, quite frankly. I'm cool with that as well. But let's get right into the show, actually, because I don't have too much time. But first, I just want to talk quickly also about an announcement made today. I was going to make a video on it, but I just have a lot on my plate right now, guys. But Renee Young was announced today that she's going to be taking over full-time on commentary, replacing Jonathan Coachman, who will be moved to the pre-show panel with Booker T, David Otunga, and those other, random guys I don't really know too much about. He's on the pre-show panel now, which, good because, Coach could be, a good sports announcer, but as far as a WWE announcer, he doesn't make the cut because he just doesn't make so many references that just does not go well at all with what's going on in the ring at all. He's very distracting. So just saying let it go during a Boston Hug Connection match. That's right. We didn't see any Boston Hug Connection tonight, but we saw the Riot Squad in action again. Well, can't really complain. The match they had wasn't too bad. But anyways, for Renee Young taking over full time, I think is awesome. And she's the first female full-time announcer WWE has had. Well, unless there's someone else back in the days that can't think on the top, but there's like female, not like special guest. This is like the first full-time female. And Renee Young's been on commentary now 3 times this year, and I think she's done a really good job. I mean, she's not like anything outstanding, but she's not distracting either, and she feels like she's actually talking about the match. So if we just get Vince out Michael Cole's ear, because again, like Michael Cole, as I said, does not do too bad on commentary when Vince is not in his ear. Like watch the Mae Young Classic, of course. But I am happy that they're giving Renee Young this chance to do this full time now. I'm looking forward to seeing her on commentary this Sunday at Hell in a Cell. So we should be good. So that is, I just want to get my opening thoughts on that. Anybody in the live chat didn't think so? I know Larry was not able to make it tonight, but that's completely fine. Anyways, we open up the show with Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman coming out. But then the remainder of the heel roster on Raw comes out, which first I'm like, what? Like, why? Like, what is this all supposed to be about? Dolph gets on the mic, it says they told us so. Braun adds they beat the Shield down, fed on their bloody carcasses. McIntyre calls for the video package to, replay what happened once again. Strowman calls Roman Reigns a coward who can't get things done on his own, and he has his Hounds of Justice. Braun has his Dogs of War, which I'm just like, oh my gosh, don't make that an actual name. If they literally are being labeled now as the Dogs of War, I'm just like, get out. Stop. No, just don't go with this. Just please don't. And their strength in numbers can't compare to his pact. Of course, referring to everybody else around the ring, it's a whole heel roster to be out there. Because, if you're a heel, you have to hate on the Shield now. Ziggler says everyone at ringside made a choice last week, a hard choice, and they stood up for themselves doing so. McIntyre asks W Universe they can feel the balance of power shifting, and they're in control now, which, I'd like to think. They beat the B team last week. They're going to beat them again in their rematch tonight, and there's nothing compared to what Strowman will do to Roman when he gets his hands on him at Hell in a Cell. Then the Shield and just music hits. The Shield comes through the crowd, and they're aggressively going through the crowd, heading for a big pack of hounds. Okay, they're just going to start brawling. It's going to look like a lumberjack match in some ways. But then Dean Ambrose had brought down a duffel bag full of axe handles. He hands them out to each of the Shield members, and they just start taking people out, especially Jinder Mahal. But then Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre, just like any heel, go onto the stage and just watch them beat down everybody else who's just hunting their prey, which bothered me because it's something that happened later on in the show I'll talk about, that they were staying up there. They were involved in the brawl, like, cool, whatever. But once again, we're supposed to be hating Braun Strowman for this. No, he's just, overcome the obstacles. But once again, it does not matter at all. We can't do that. We then have the cops arguing with the Shield. Corbin comes up saying that they don't need a repeat of last week. He doesn't think the police need to be involved. He tells the Shield to drop their weapons so they don't get arrested for assaulting an officer. He needs them to be available to compete on Raw. But then he says that if you guys do attack, you will get your titles vacated and they will go to jail for a very long time. And then, so pretty much, he was saying we need you to compete on Raw, but at the same time, you need to get out of the building at the same time. Make no sense. So you want them there to compete, but you're not going to give them a match tonight. That was stupid. So that happened. But of course, we'd see them later on. Before the next match, we had the Bella Twins have this big fancy locker room apparently for themselves. Go in there, and the Riot Squad went there and just changed up all their slogans. That has something to do with the Riot Squad. Say the Riot Squad hyping up for Nikki Bella versus Ruby Riott. Again, I'm getting annoyed by this whole thing with the Bella Twins being on Raw randomly. It just feels so random. Like, I know that they're teasing eventually for a Ronda and Nikki match, which again, not for that happening Evolution. And again, here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. The Bella Twins, have success, in the fashion world, and with even though I don't watch it, Total Bellas, and Total Divas, people do watch those shows. They are successful. They're not terrible wrestlers either. But they are making too big of a deal out of them right now. I gotta say this, but why did they need this big, special locker room? If it's like Trish Stratus or Lita returning, then the big deal of them getting a locker room or whatnot like that. Like, why the Bella twins, It's just like, like, why did the Bella twins have to be, Asuka's final obstacle in the women's Royal Rumble? Like, why not, like, have, like, come up, Asuka and Trish or Asuka and Sasha, or, like, someone who, like, Asuka's never crossed paths with. I mean, yes, then again, the Bella twins have, but to me, they're not that big of a threat compared to Asuka. Well, what Asuka was, in my opinion. So that bothered me a little bit. Had the match with, Nikki and Ruby. Again, when it's just Ruby Riott one-on-one matches, they're actually, they have something to them that shows that Ruby Riott has a lot of potential. Again, just not a big fan of the Riotts all being together, which also, I mean, be nice. Happy birthday to Sarah Logan. Apparently today's Sarah Logan's 25th birthday. I'll be joining that club with you in 12 days. But so we had the match. Wasn't bad. Of course, the Riot Squad tried to pull off their usual heel tactics, but it didn't work as Nikki had Ruby up. Liv goes in to try to get like, the break it up, but then Brie pulls her out of the way. Nikki hits a Raptor Attack 2.0 to get the victory. So it's obviously, again, they're building towards, eventual match with Ronda and Nikki. But it's gonna happen. Nothing I can do. We have also a presentation with Connor's Cure kids with dressing up as like their own superstars or whatnot. The Big Show came out there and pretty much just put them all over and just like just put over what they're doing with Connor's Cure, which is like, okay, that's a nice little thing to do. So I was cool with that. Fine with that. Check the live chat. See if I made a live chat. Nope, nobody. It's fine. Anyways, so we then get a recap of what happened with The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels last week, and they hyping up that Triple H will be appearing later on. And then we have backstage, we have Drake Maverick and Authors of Pain. But if you guys noticed tonight, when they came out, they were introduced as AOP, and on their little graphic, it just said AOP. It didn't say Authors of Pain. They're being called AOP. Kind of like whenever how, like, TJ Perkins was being called TJP now. So I have this bad feeling that the Authors of Pain doesn't exist anymore. They're just AOP. Like, if somebody started watching this show, they'd be like, what does AOP stand for? Well, I don't know. We just call them AOP. And, that bothers me. And again, this alliance with Drake Maverick still bothers me. Like, again, I was cool with them. I'm cool with them, giving the Authors of Pain a manager. Like, Paul Ellering did a great job as a manager. And heck, Paul Heyman can be a manager for the Authors of Pain for all I care. It just, something needs to make sense. But why Drake Maverick, the 205 Live general manager, who's a great babyface manager, general manager on that show? Again, feeling like talent on that show has something to watch for. That's what he brings out in all of his talents. That's why he's a great 205 Live GM. But like, Brie Bella, she's Nikki Bella's sister on Raw, and she's Daniel Bryan's wife on SmackDown. Like, she's playing two different roles. Now we have Drake Maverick being somewhat of a heel manager on Raw for AOP, not Authors of Pain, AOP. And then we have him being this, great general manager on 205 Live. Like, these two role stuff can't be happening. Like, don't give me that baloney. But the Authors of Pain just squashed other opponents again. Whatever. We got that, what it was. We get a video package for a Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton match. Then we see a limousine pulling up, and Triple H comes out of it as he gets ready to head to the ring for the next segment. Triple H comes out, and once again, he's trying to put over. He's supposed to be responding to what happened last week and how what the Undertaker said to Shawn Michaels last week made things personal. And I'm already thinking, how did that make things personal between Triple H and the Undertaker? All Undertaker did was, doubt Shawn Michaels' prediction. And Triple H claims that Undertaker's taking offense to that. He comes out and he says that the night after SummerSlam, he stood in the ring to tell him that the era was back, and he and Taker would wrestle one more time in Australia out of respect. And then the legends chimed in, and they pull up a poll saying that Taker would win with the overwhelming 81% of the votes. He gets it that Undertaker's never been an underdog, and this level, these things shouldn't get to you, which is why it was so shocking to him last week when Shawn Michaels came out here, and it bothered Taker so much that he came out to reply that he was bothered by Shawn's opinion. He doesn't get it, but he was so rattled that he made an appearance. He was angry, agitated, accusing him of being bitter and afraid and baiting him with threats. Undertaker threatening a man over his opinion. When Hunter watched that back, he got mad thinking Taker had lost respect for him or Shawn, but that wasn't the case. Taker lost respect for himself, and the proof is that he didn't show up here to tell him to his face. The truth is, you go back there to 4 matches in a row, and he was never quite the same after. The aura went away, the streak went away, and all that was left is what you see of Taker now, just a reputation. A series of matches was his last epic moment, which kind of was. I mean, the last great match Taker would have was against Punk at 29. But he did say one thing last week that it was true. Now it's personal. So Australia, out of the last bit of respect he has for the dead man, he's going to put him down, which again, last week's segment felt more like a hype match between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, not Triple H and Undertaker. So this probably didn't really do anything for me. It didn't really, psych me up more to see one, or maybe want to even see Triple H and The Undertaker at Super Showdown. I just don't understand why this match is happening. Again, this big deal. Who's going to win this final battle? They had their final battle. They had that last shot, that ending to the story. Now we're just going to go through and just ruin it. It didn't sell me. I'm sorry. I'm not watching Super Showdown. It just did not sell me at all. But then we move on. We hyped up the match later on. We're getting a tag team match with Ronda Rousey and Natalya, who's originally going to take on Alexa Bliss and Alicia Fox, but then it got changed to Alexa Bliss and Mickie James, which I was cool with that. We didn't have oh my goodness, they actually have it labeled here on Cage Side Seats. Ziggler McIntyre, aka Braun Strowman's Dogs of War, taking on the B Team for the rematch of the Raw Tag Team Championships. Match was what it was. Wasn't an awful match to really, get to really I was afraid they would just squash the B Team. They didn't squash the B Team. They actually made the B Team look like they were somewhat, have a chance. Not really that dramatic of a match at all, but they eventually win. Ziggler McIntyre retain their titles. Looks like B Team's going back to catering. Nice run. What I had to see Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel actually get some success for once, but I don't see them coming back into the spotlight anytime soon. But after the match, Ambrose and Rollins jump McIntyre and Ziggler, and they beat them down. They left their titles, and then they just stood tall in the ring. But then afterwards, we have Corbin backstage talking to Seth and Dean for what just happened, saying that if you did that again, you're going to get arrested. Which again, don't get why they got arrested last week. Roman's like, this isn't the Shield. This is just Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. It's only 2 of them. Corbin says that they're going to have to arrest them, and Seth asks what he means by again, which leads to the Lone Wolf talking about why he did what he did. Rollins isn't having it and asks why they got arrested, and that Ziggler McIntyre weren't arrested though. And he tells him his threats are bogus, but you know what isn't? Falsely police reports. And Seth has a sheriff who is ready to issue a warrant for Corbin's arrest over what happened. Corbin tries to kick them out, but Rollins tells the sheriff to do his deal. The sheriff begins reading Corbin his rights. Corbin begs off, asking Seth if they can handle this in private. And the sheriff and Dean walk out. And then Ambrose has a discussion with the sheriff over speeding laws when Rollins comes out to say they don't need to press charges. Dean tells the sheriff he'll call him next time he's in jail, and they leave. And we get someone the tag on the sheriff is identified as G. Ambrose. Don't know if that's Dean Ambrose's long lost relative or something. I don't know, but this didn't make any sense. Like, how did they? I don't see Corbin letting them go from this. He got out of an arrest, but I don't know what the deal was behind it. I didn't get it all. Like, I thought first maybe Rollins bribed for a match against Ziggler and McIntyre, which we were later on going to announce that we were going to get a tag title match with Rollins and Ambrose taking on Ziggler and McIntyre for the tag titles on Sunday. The IC title is not up for grabs. We got that match announced, but what was the point of this? I don't know. We had Tyler Breeze making his way out, but then Kevin Owens just beat him down with a super kick and an apron powerbomb. Poor Tyler Breeze. Again, when I was at NXT Live this past Friday in Pittsburgh, Tyler Breeze appeared had a match with Dan Matha. Remember him, guys? The guy who got beat down in his debut by Samoa Joe. He has been on NXT TV since. Um, but Tyler Breeze had a match against, and Tyler Breeze actually looked like he could wrestle. Like they actually gave him time, and he put on a great showing. And just even going back down to just this again, just being job two. I'm just like, really. But Owens beats him down, and he gets on the microphone. Um, and says that 2 weeks ago he walked away and that felt great. But then Corbin called and begged him to reconsider and come back because, unlike everyone else, Corbin recognizes his value as the true MVP of Monday Night Raw, and he agreed to come back under one condition: that he's not held accountable for what he does to his opponents. So pretty much, he's just doing his job. He's doing whatever he wants to whoever he wants, and again, he's just doing his job. He destroyed the Shield last week because he wanted to, because he's sick of them, and hey, he's just doing his job. And that's not a thing anyone can do about, but there is someone that everyone can blame, and that is Bobby Lashley. He calls him a sick maniac that intentionally injured Sami Zayn, and that's why he's been on the shelf instead of having Owens having by his side. And you want to know why he quit? He quit because of Bobby Lashley. Now he's back because of him. And what happened last week is just a start and will serve as a stern reminder that this is still the Kevin Owens show. And you can expect these three things from now on: agony, anarchy, and destruction. And it is all Lashley's fault. So I'm like, okay, somewhat of a reason, like decent reason to cover up, why you're only gone for a week and just came back. Having, a heel general manager trying to bribe you to come back pretty much and saying you can do whatever you want. Like, I get that. Well, okay. I thought we were going to get a match between Lashley and Owens at Hell in a Cell, but we're not, which that's fine with me. Because they didn't have Lashley show up selling off, the damage that Owens did to him, which is us fine with that. I mean, I like the whole agony, anarchy, and agony, anarchy, and destruction. I mean, I do like that phrase for Owens, so hopefully this could get Owens back on track, but it's Raw. I don't trust anybody. But yeah, so Owens is back. Oh, hey Lauren, how are you? Owens, of course, is back again. Like, I guess that's a decent cover-up story, but if they're gonna book Bobby Lashley like a smiling little idiot who just lets everybody just stomp all over him, I still can't take this feud seriously. Anyways, so that was that. We had Bobby Roode and Chad Gable make their entrance, and they had a rematch against the Ascension last week, and they beat them. All I can say is, I mean, it looks like they might be, just slowly, planting the seeds for a Bobby Roode heel turn, because for a second week in a row, Chad Gable tagged himself in and beat the Ascension, and it just looking like that they're both a little too happy out there. That's why I'm going to be calling them Team Too Happy, because they just seem a little too happy. I mean, if they're trying to plant seeds for Bobby Roode heel turn, I guess I can see them trying, but I don't know. Again, this is still a little corny for me. I feel seeing these two just thrown together and just like going like all the time. It's like, okay, cool down the smiles, guys. You're serious athletes. You're not little kids just going like that. Worked for the B team. It's not meant for you guys. Don't be B Team 2.0, please. That's the last thing I want, pretty much from that. But they win, and then we see Ronda and Natalya warming up backstage, and then we get told that there's several things from the WWE who's up for an E People's Choice Awards. This is Nikki Bella is up for something. Nia Jax up for something, and Monday Night Raw is up for one of the best shows of the year. I saw Nia Jax, I'm like, really? With how bad this show has been since WrestleMania. I mean, before it wasn't amazing, but it was at least still somewhat intriguing to me, in my opinion. Now it's the Superstar shakeup. It just sucks. I can't name that. Maybe like what I can name like one or two episodes of Raw. I'll be able to sit through that. I'm like, you know what? That wasn't bad. Nothing. I don't know. If that show somehow wins, I don't get how they even get the nomination for People's Choice Award. I don't know. That was just completely ridiculous. And once again, it says Dogs of War and this Cage Side Seats notes. I know I don't have so much time, but you know what happens when you come up with another awful name for a stable? What happens when your writers are lazy and don't know what to come up with? Dogs of War, you just made the list. All right, got that. So then, anyways, so we have Corbin talking to them and informs them that the Louisiana law is complicated because the state operates under Napoleon Code, and that's Rollins and Ambrose will get a tag title match at Hell in a Cell, which I'm like, okay, random. They complain, but Corbin says this needs to happen, make his first pay-per-view a big show. Well, just awesome. And a tag title match is sufficiently big. I'm like, okay, whatever. He tells Braun and Stephanie wants him to take the title from Roman. And then Strowman says he's going to go big dog hunting, which again, I'll explain, like why I still wasn't a big fan of this, later on in the show. Lawrence says, hey, again, I got a notification for your stream. Everything okay? How was Raw? I'm all right. I'm just tired. I have a lot on my plate right now, and I have to get up really early tomorrow morning, so I'm kind of just rushing through this a little bit. So I do apologize. My enthusiasm's a little bit down. And plus, also, I can't be too loud because my dad is trying to sleep. And he hasn't been feeling well most of the day, and I don't want to, wake him up or anything. So, yeah. When Renee is on commentary, returns are confirmed. Yeah, thank goodness Renee is on there full time. And Raw, I felt was a show that, it was boring. Nothing really happened, but I felt it was a little bit more manageable to sit through than in recent weeks. It doesn't feel overwhelming. I do agree the Shield should never reunite because now, again, it just feels like they're just Roman Reigns cronies. That's all it feels like. The Intercontinental Championship is not even seen on the show anymore. I mean, I think Rollins and Ambrose can have a good match with Ziggler and McIntyre on Sunday, but I'm not counting on anything too high, in my opinion. I feel with it. I don't even know what the heck Drake Maverick is. No, the Drake Maverick on Raw, I feel, is a heel, but Drake Maverick on 205 Live is still a face. I don't get it. I really do not get it at all whatsoever. Of the Bellas nomination, I mean, I guess, I'm fine with them getting their nomination because I don't watch Total Bellas or Total Divas, but give credit, they're probably good what they do business-wise. But again, I'm not a fan of Raw being up for one. I can't talk tonight. Yeah, I know there's a tag match Hell in a Cell. Not that we have a ton of those come up at Super Showdown. But is Rollins hurt? I do not think he is. I'll keep going here because I don't have too much time. I gotta get really early tomorrow morning. Anyways, we have Alexa Bliss and Mickie James versus Natalya and Ronda Rousey. This match kind of more so is told that story of Alexa has friends and Alexa can use them to her advantage. Well, here's my thing that I mean. I was all right with what happened at SummerSlam, but here's the thing: SummerSlam kind of told that story one-on-one. Alexa Bliss is nothing compared to Ronda Rousey. That's the story I was told there. But my thing was if Alexa should have known that already. Why was there nobody at ringside for her at all during that match? Did I miss some on the pre-show or something like that? For a rematch, I thought, okay, they're going to try to make Alexa Bliss look like she can beat Ronda Rousey but still lose. But having Alexa get Natty to tap out to a weak-looking armbar last week was not going to help. And just having her, have her stablemates help her out, which, it's like we've already seen this already, even though they weren't there at SummerSlam. Now all of a sudden they're allowed to be there. I don't get why. And I still would have liked the idea because, obviously, Alexa lost with the armbar, and it had that whole thing with how apparently, Ronda's just out there to break arms. Why couldn't Alexa be like, well, why can you just prove that, you can do more than just, break arms, and you can't win with the armbar at all at Hell in a Cell and take the armbar away for the match. We're seeing another one-on-one match. This time we're probably gonna have people in each other's corners. It's probably gonna be a mess on Sunday. Match. That's what this match basically told. Even so, Ronda's gonna come out there and just kick Alexa's ass pretty much. So I'm just like, whatever. We'll get past this. It's not gonna be awful, but it's not gonna feel that special at all when it happens on Sunday. So we got the match. At least Ronda, is not being full on Brock and actually having matches on Raw, and she's defending the title at a pay-per-view. So at least we got that. We got a recap for Becky and Charlotte. Elias isn't happy with his tea because it's supposed to be caramel, and it is in. We see Braun just run through the hallways, just yelling for Roman. He just, just blame everybody for not knowing where Roman is. So I was like, all right, bulbous and whatnot. Which again, I will get to why this whole thing still kind of bothered me throughout the night. But I'll get to that shortly. We have Ronda and Natty being interviewed backstage. Ronda says she's fine, even though she is a little bit hurt, but she's still going to be at Hell in a Cell, and she's never going to pull out of a fight because she's never injured, but because even on her worst days, she's still the best, she claims. Elias in the ring, playing a song, talking about, the history of jazz music in New Orleans, and plays a few bars before launches his usual Walk with Elias stick, and then he starts trashing the Saints for losing yesterday, even though the Steelers tied the Browns. Don't want to get into that. Well, I'm not that big into football, but I don't want to get into any debate or anything. Elias sings this song, and then, of course, he's interrupted by Mick Foley, who was advertised to return tonight because it's the 20th anniversary of his epic Hell in a Cell moment against The Undertaker in 1998. So he comes out, and he says since he's a big fan, he puts Elias's voice and talent over, says he admires his craftsmanship, but as a lyrics, he doesn't have a sincere bone in his body. Elias says he knows why he's out here to talk about Hell in a Cell, and if he wants something sincere, he'll tell him as hard as this to believe he was a child once, and he has seen, Mick Foley's body thrown off the cell, and his career's never the same. He prayed Foley would stay down, but he climbed up and got choke slammed through the cage, and his life was never the same again. He'd be lying if he said that wasn't a special moment, the stuff of legend. But that was then, and this is now. And he's standing in the ring with a broken man, he claims. Broken man who is singing and the same sad song he's been singing for the last 20 years, and he barely remembers the words. Mick takes his words for a second and admits he got him. That's him in a nutshell. But he didn't come out here to talk about the past. He wants to talk about the future. And Elias tells him he's talking to the future, and Foley says, yeah, maybe he's got the skills and will be Universal Champion. But he's not talking about years to come. He's talking about 6 nights at Hell in a Cell. He claims he lives very close to Stephanie McMahon. He came to pay her a visit and asked her to let him play a role on the 20th anniversary. Elias laughed, saying that, yeah, right before we was like, no, that's what happened. And yes, they've had their differences in the past. He talks about how there was a stretcher brought down after he jumped off the cell, and whatnot. How he didn't give up, and he channeled the energy to get back up, and he channeled energy once again to ask Stephanie McMahon to go back to that night. And he pretty much just said he got permission to be a special guest referee in the match between Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman at Hell in a Cell. I'm just like, all right, whatever. I mean, not the biggest hill to die on, I feel. I mean, it is a 20th anniversary of Foley's epic moment. Falling off the cell or going through the cell and whatnot like he did. So I was like, I understand and I respect it, so I guess I'll accept it. But at the same time, when it involves how badly booked Roman Reigns is being booked later, I'm just like, they're probably just like, yeah, that's another reason to want to see this match. Well, I want to see Braun Strowman destroy Roman Reigns, but it's not going to happen. But whatever, out of respect for Mick, I'm like, okay, whatever this is. And Elias kept just bashing him, and it just looked like that, he was going to pull up Mr. Sacco on Elias. But instead, he claims that Stephanie gave him permission to do one thing. Since Constable Corbin has stuff on his plate, you can make one match tonight, and it's against this man. So we get Finn Balor and Elias. Match was what it was. They put on okay matches. Balor won with just some small package. I'm just like, okay, you could just beat him clean. Like, Elias not going like shooting high to the top anytime soon in WWE's eyes. So why couldn't he do that? Elias wins. I mean, Finn Balor wins the small package. Then we see Bobby Lashley working out earlier, and Leo Rush is playing the hype man and walking around him, and then Bobby first is like, hey, I'm trying to concentrate here. I'm like, okay, like that's this more serious Bobby Lashley you want to see. But Leo Rush, who is an awesome heel on 205 Live, he's like, I'm just here to motivate you, man. He's like, okay, motivate me, and then he's just doing his usual thing, and Leo Rush is motivating him. When is Bobby Lashley just going to be that guy who just stops, being all like, nice guy. Like, oh, it's so good to see you, man. Oh, it's awesome. I'll see him on too. Boom. I'm just kidding. He just falls into okay, Leo Rush didn't attack Bobby Lashley. If they went as far as having Leo Rush attack Bobby Lashley, that would be way too far there. I'd be like, there's no hope for this man. But again, it's like, why don't you have Bobby Lashley? Hey, he could be angry, just aggravated from Kevin Owens, like literally taking him out like he did last week. Why can't he just be like, leave me alone? I'm trying to work and whatnot, and just gets Leo Rush go away. Nope, he just lets the heels just stomp all over him and just make him look like an idiot. As I keep saying, week after week after week after week. Literally, if I was him, I'd be like, you guys are screwing me. I'm out of here. But nope, he's staying. So what's to do? All right. Finally gets to the end of the show. Braun Strowman questions Charlie Caruso where Roman is. She suggests him to go to the ring, and maybe Roman will come to him. He's like, yeah, it's a good idea. He goes out to the ring. He says he's sick of waiting and demands Roman to get out here and face him like a man. There's no response, but Braun calls him a coward, but says, unfortunately for Reigns, there's nowhere to hide inside the cell, and his boys can't get to him. Neither can Mick Foley, because if he gets in the monster's way, his injuries from 20 years ago will look like a paper cut compared to now. He's going to take the Universal title from Roman Reigns and send him straight to hell, and he's never coming back. So Roman's music hits, and we don't see him right away. So Braun's looking at he's going to come in like the Shield does. He's going to come down the ramp. But then Braun starts leaving the ring, starts for Roman. And then you just see Roman just standing there on top of the announce table. They start doing some weak-looking brawl. It looked like that Braun was about to slam him through the table. I thought maybe the Shield was going to come out, and maybe, the Dogs of War are going to come out now also. They have a big brawl again or something like that. But none of them come out. But we have Roman pick up a Samoan drop, and then they just, they go through the stage. It's a Samoan drop. That's how the show ended. I'm like, well, that was weak. That's a nice way to hype up your main event. What bothered me about this, though, Braun Strowman was also like, he was like, so like into like, I just want to get my hands on him. I want to rip him to shreds. I wanted to go big dog hunting. Then again, why did you and your little cronies back away during that opening brawl, and just like let your other little cronies just get beaten up by the Shield with axe handles? Wasn't a big fan of that, but that's how we went off the show. Check the live chat real quick to see what we got here. Now I gotta get going. I've missed a lot of people. Yeah, my dad's right. He just has a little bit of a stomach bug. He's fine. I don't blame you if you want to go to bed. Yeah, well, I got to get up really early tomorrow. Mickey and Alexa really need to split. Same with Sasha and Becky. And Bayley, I do agree, because right now it feels like none of these women at all matter except for just a select few women on both shows. It feels like right now. Like no one else is like, there's no depth. But again, Alexa and Mickey, I don't understand them at all. Sasha and Bayley should have been split, but now they're back to being a tag team feuding with the Riot Squad all the time, which just drives me crazy. I am fine with Brie and Maurice tomorrow. I wanted it to be a mixed tag match, though, with Brian, Brie, Almas, and Zelina. I thought that's what they were going for, but we're not getting that. Are you excited about season 2 of the Mixed Match Challenge? I'm not. It's the same teams, basically. We have some new teams. I mean, I'm all right with giving it another go, because at least it's going to, happen for a good cause. There's only going to be 10 teams this time. But, they had a promo hype up for the first match, which is Charlotte and AJ taking on Jimmy and Naomi. But they brought back those stupid graphics. Those lazy looking like Microsoft Office graphics just pissed me off. So I'm like, yay, we got those again. The U.S. Title hasn't been defended since SummerSlam. That is correct. She thinks Renee should be on SmackDown Live instead of Raw. She could be. Vince is trying so hard to get us to cheer for Roman. It's not working. She still thinks that Natty or Nikki will turn on Ronda. I'm still thinking it's going to be Nikki. I think Natty doing it would be way too soon. If anything, I would rather see Ronda turn on Natty or something like that. Just something different. I feel like it's just still too soon to put Natty back to being a heel again. If you know what I mean? So I think it's more likely going to be Nikki. Hey Mike, how are you? Hope everybody is doing well. Tired. I still have a lot on my plate, but I'm good. I don't know why the Bellas are teaming up with Ronda instead of Ember and Natty. Again, it makes absolutely no sense at all whatsoever. Didn't be Raw in the first place. I thought Nikki was on SmackDown Live. She's on Raw now. It even still says she's on SmackDown according to the app, but Nope, she's on Raw now. I bet Nikki is like John, a free agent. So far, I haven't seen like that 'cause she's been on Raw, but she could be. Who knows? I love Cena so much, but I'm kind of feeling tired of his ways when he says he'll return soon, but he only comes back for a day. I'm done with WWE and their shit, she thinks. That's what I was thinking, Tia Couponer. In the Joe voice, of course, we got Robbie saying, "Oh, Wendy!" Don't be too loud again, but yep, had Wendy's also Thursday night also, so that's what I thought. But we heard that tonight, which of course, cracks me up as always. And of course, Daddy's gonna go night night. Just please add a stipulation to their match Sunday. Please add a stipulation to their match. Please, 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 please. I want there to be a stipulation to their match so bad. But when Nikki left, she was on SmackDown a lot, and now all of a sudden she's on Raw. Again, it makes this absolutely no sense. He talked to Constable Corbin. Did you see Bray Wyatt's tweet that he's leaving WWE? I did not see that, but if that's the case, then good for him because he probably would do better elsewhere. He's not really being used as well at all now on Raw, so I don't know what the heck's going on. But I didn't see that tweet. But I didn't see that, but that'd be good for him if he's trying to find different things. Braun Bear defeat Roman. I'd like to see that happen, but I have a bad feeling Roman's going to win, unfortunately. Robbie says it's been a while since he last said this, but I'm really excited for everything SmackDown has to offer at Hell in a Cell this Sunday. Can't wait for the Orton Hardy Hell in a Cell match. I think it definitely could be awesome. And of course, we only have 3 Raw matches, and so far, just 5 SmackDown matches, which again, if it's just going to be an 8-match card, I'm cool with that. It doesn't have to be, like a 10, 11 match, 4-hour show every single freaking time. They're toning back on pay-per-views, like I was saying in my top 10 things though the product needs to fix, like my special stream 2 weeks ago. Then I'm like, cool, let's do it. So if that's the case, then I'm fine with that. I can go for just a refreshing 3-hour pay-per-view. Couldn't agree more, Robbie. Do you think Hardy will jump off the cell? I've heard rumors. It's possible. If it's gonna be his only Hell in a Cell match, I'd say maybe consider trying it. But if you can't do it, Jeff, don't try to kill yourself. I'd say I still think Orton is going to win that match, but I'll say that for my predictions video sometime this week, probably Wednesday, I'd say. What's up with Rude and Lashley? Yeah, again, Bobby Roode and Chad Gable are part of Team Way Too Happy, as I'm calling them. And then Bobby Lashley, again, is not feud Kevin Owens, but he's still just a smiling idiot who just laughs at everything. Everybody just beats him up, just beats him down pretty much. It's not the guy he should come across as. Again, Bobby Lashley was actually booked his best when he was feuding with Roman Reigns until he beat him on Extreme Rules, and then he lost him the following on Raw, and then that win meant absolutely nothing. We're supposed to forget about that now, guys. But that'd be crazy. Now Owens can do whatever he wants. I was hoping for a face turn after he quit. Guess we were wrong. I mean, the promo he cut tonight, I'm like, all right, that's acceptable. I guess to explain how him coming back and whatnot. But I do agree, if it's not going to change anything in his character, then what was the point of it? What I mean? If he's not going to make a Paul Heyman guy, but now he's allowed to do whatever he wants. It's just lazy writing. I felt kind of pointless. But this is probably just hyping up to that tag match we're supposed to be getting at Super Showdown between Owens and Elias versus Lashley and Cena, which I don't care about at all whatsoever. Have you noticed when Dean is in the ring or promo or segment, Renee stays quiet? Yeah, every time whenever Renee was interviewing people backstage and someone said something about Dean Ambrose and whatnot, saying kind of makes some kind of like a family reference towards Dean Ambrose, it gets kind of awkward. Like she's like, yeah, I know. So hopefully those moments don't continue, but Renee's doing fine on commentary so far. Ring or promo type out, no worries. Owens would have been better off storylines for a couple months, and then he returns as a face. That's what I thought could have been happening also. I still don't get why the Shield still gets cheered. They're done. They should be heels in this case instead of Drew, Dolph, and Braun. Exactly, but nope, we have to hate them for this. What was the point of quitting? Foley did return. Yes, he did. He's going to be a special guest referee on Sunday. Triple H did return and cut a promo that just still didn't get me hyped at all for their match at Super Showdown. It was not really one of the best promos Triple H has cut. Um, yeah, he should be again. It's just a small little stomach bug, but he's fine. You think Mania will return? Maria will return at Evolution. Maria Kanellis, it's possible. I keep hearing she's supposed to be coming back soon. Brie is a jobber on Raw, but a star on SmackDown. Exactly, because on Raw she's just Nikki's little sister, no, Nikki's twin sister, who's just doing Nikki's dirty work for her. On SmackDown, she's Daniel Bryan's wife and is a hero. So yeah, again, she's playing two different roles. And Lashley and Sasha in the mixed match challenge. Yeah, her and Finn would have been better. I do agree. That match is so predictable. AJ and Charlotte are easily winning. WWE needs to become less predictable. Exactly. I mean, I would love to see Carmella and R-Truth win the mixed match challenge, but it's probably going to be AJ and Charlotte, unfortunately. But if they give it to R-Truth and Carmella, I'm cool with that, but I don't see that happening, unfortunately. Nikki was a good champ, but not at Evolution. Should be at the pay-per-view after. Again, I was fine with Nikki Bella's Divas title reign, again, until after WrestleMania, when she wasn't defending it that often, and I still felt she should have dropped the title to Naomi, who was gaining momentum as a heel, but it didn't go with the momentum. They just cut it off there again, big time. Didn't AJ and Charlotte win last year? Last year it was Asuka and Miz who won, and AJ wasn't in the mixed match challenge, but Charlotte was paired with Bobby Roode. They were the runners up. The match. Becky isn't in the mixed match challenge. No, she is not. Yeah, thanks for giving me that. Miz and Asuka. Joe needs to win Sunday. I think so. Who would you team Becky with? Do you think the brand split was a mistake? The thing is, I don't think it was a mistake, because I do feel a lot of people wouldn't be getting the opportunities they got if the brand split came back. But there's some other things around it they could have done better. Again, I think the competition between brands could have been the case. I don't think we've needed all these titles, 2 of every title pretty much. I don't think we've needed. So as far as the opportunities, definitely reason why to keep it. Plus, while we watch SmackDown, if the same things can be happening on both shows, you know what I mean. But I agree there are still some holes in there, and of course, with just all dual brand pay-per-views. I mean, with Hell in a Cell, them going back to just 8 matches right now, not 10 or 11. Okay, that's actually a little bit better, but I'm just kind of hoping they stay with that route, toning down the B pay-per-views and not making every pay-per-view a big 4-hour show, the extravaganza. So again, I'm still for the brand split, but I do see why people would be against it. I think Becky's partner would be with either Orton or Bryan. Could be interesting. Are Rollins and Ambrose on the card? Yeah, they're going for the Raw tag titles against Ziggler and McIntyre. The IC title's not on the line though. Did you hear Rock may win the 2019 Rumble and face Roman at Mania 35? Would be interesting, I'd say. Maybe nice. Well, last year we had somebody new win the Royal Rumble, Nakamura, but I mean, I wish they would have heel Roman Reigns versus The Rock, but could be happening. Let's see there. They're in a mixed tag match. Lashley would be so much better booked on SmackDown Live. I agree. I could see Hardy either doing a swanton off the cell or maybe setting up a tall ladder inside the cell and performing a swanton off it. Either way, we're having a sick-looking swanton from Hardy. Exactly. Lashley should be Universal Champion, not Roman. You don't want Rock and Roman. Can you imagine if Orton hits an RKO on Hardy on top of the cell and pins him? That would be crazy. Shows the bar to defeat New Day. Me too. Rock versus Reigns, but not for the title. That is true. The train choo-choo. I'm not excited for Triple H versus Taker. Neither am I. Do you think Naomi versus Melina will happen? I did hear a rumor about that. I mean, I'd be fine with it. Maybe it will happen. Maybe it won't. We'll have to wait and see. But I'd be fine with that match happening. That will be interesting. Imagine if Nikki was a heel on Raw and face on SmackDown Live. Oh, gosh, that's probably going to happen with Brie, I'd say. It would be ridiculous. You think Carmella's a face since she's teaming with R-Truth? Maybe, I'm not sure. I still need a little bit of time to see if this is going to be a full-on face turn for Carmella or not, or this is just for the mixed match challenge. That's why I'm not going to jump to conclusions yet and say, oh, Carmella's a baby face now. Which, I mean, she's kind of gone her routes as a heel. I mean, she was, she's good on the mic as a heel. I mean, I know she's not the greatest wrestler, whatnot, but I don't know. Maybe, I guess I'd be up for trying for a face character change before a change, but whatever. WWE spited AJ Lee of Nikki's reign, even though she lost both. Yeah, exactly. AJ Lee returning would be awesome. Any Survivor Series predictions? I mean, if we do have Rollins still IC champion, him and Nakamura wouldn't be a bad match for a champion versus champion. I'd be fine with either Reigns and Styles or Braun and Styles. I mean, that could still be good matches there. If the Bar win the tag titles, the Bar versus McIntyre and Ziggler would be an awesome match. And then if Becky wins the title, Becky versus Ronda wouldn't be bad either. Because I'd say save Becky and Charlotte for like WrestleMania or something like that. I'd say. And then I'm trying to think who would be on the on Team Raw and Team SmackDown. I can't think off the top of my head, but some other predictions I'd say we could be getting. AJ Lee versus Steph exactly. That match needs to happen. Did you hear Becky is more of a tweener than a heel? Yeah, again, I'm glad and I think it's because they've eased off on her, bashing the crowd and whatnot, what she is exactly what you need to do. Like, just keep this feud about the personal heat between Becky and Charlotte, and everything's fine. Like, I like this, but when Becky's out there, dissing on the crowd, I'm like, it's not true. Becky Lynch literally became a women's version of Stone Cold Steve Austin with her attacking Charlotte SummerSlam. That's what literally happened. Like, we're happy she did that. Like, it's a bad thing to do, but we loved it. And that's what Stone Cold Steve Austin exactly did. They loved when he did bad things. That's what Becky Lynch is doing, if you know what I mean. Alexa versus Trish and Mickey versus Lita. They're both happening. Mike, did you ever think R-Truth would main event episode SmackDown 2018? No, I did not. But he didn't do too bad last week. Becky is the face, but WWE thinks she is a heel. Exactly. The same R-Truth who, as Uncle Rico would say, while he's out there, is playing patty cake with his friend Ty Dillinger. Exactly. That R-Truth has actually been funny. My favorite line still is, hey, Truth, he's trying to pick up Carmella off camera. Hey, Truth, put her down. That's what's up. Boy. Yeah, I did hear a rumor that Ty and Peyton just got engaged. Charlotte versus Becky should have happened at this year's Mania. It could have. Straight fire. And imagine Finn and Becky teaming up. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Finn and Becky teaming up for the mixed match challenge. Straight fire and the Demon, pretty much, if you want to put it that way. Yeah, great stream. See you tomorrow. Sweet dreams. Yeah, I think about to check out also because I gotta get up in like 5 hours. So I'm getting up early, like pretty much every day the rest of this week. So I'm going to probably check out as well, guys. But thank you guys for joining me live. To the polls, what grade would you give this episode of Raw? 4 votes. 25% said A. 20% said B. Nobody said C. 50% said D or lower. Again, my opinion with how this show felt, a little more manageable to sit through, but still pretty boring. I'll give it a C minus, like a really low C minus. So I give it 6 episodes of Raw. What grade would you give 6 episodes of Raw? Thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure to always click my like and subscribe to our content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirBonnie3. Tomorrow I'll be back here for my live review of SmackDown Live. 205 Live NXT will be on Wednesday. May try to squeeze in my Hell in a Cell predictions, and I'll do that Thursday. And I'll also do my special stream of the week on Thursday. Well, actually, I probably will still do my special stream on Thursday, but it might be a bit later because I'm having dinner with some friends that night. So I'll try to do my top 10 Hell in a Cell matches on Thursday for my special stream of the week. And then Sunday, I will do a live review, of course, of Hell in a Cell. May do some live reactions during a few matches. Not sure yet, but we'll see what happens there. But guys, thanks again to Lauren, T and Couponer, and Robbie for joining me live again. Sorry I wasn't too peppy tonight. I don't want to be too loud because, my dad's trying to sleep. And again, he's fine, but he's just, hell of a stunt bug today, but he's fine. And I'm just tired. I just have a lot on my plate right now. So I'm checking out, guys. Thank you guys again for tuning in live. I'll catch you guys all tomorrow. Like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, man93, and peace, everybody. Have a good night.